This week on Flick Knows, we go through the quick stats and the land title market stats from May. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in for another episode of Flick Knows here. We've got some good stats for you, the typical land title market stats, as well as our quick stats that we go through every week. It's funny, this started in 2020 when COVID happened. I just started following what was going on a weekly basis with the market to get that weekly data and see where we are inventory wise, what's going under contract. And we've been doing it ever since, and I really like it. New properties in the last week, last 7 days, 48 new properties, 30 properties have gone pending, and 16 properties have sold. So, and we've got 26 properties have price reduced. Looking at the inventory, this is the one I'm really interested in right now, because inventory, we need a massive inventory. We need like 750,000 properties for prices to just start like going down pretty quick, and we're just not seeing that. And I can tell you too, as we get into the land title stats, there was only one foreclosure action taken on a full there were a total only one foreclosure action compared this year compared to 12 in May of 2022. But I jump ahead of myself here. Sorry, stick with me. May of 23, we ended last month with 730 active properties. June of 22, so last year, a year ago this month, ended with 919. Today we're at 825. So we're still below where we were in 2022. Options 417. Last year we peaked at 450. If things go the way they are, next week we should be at the peak roughly, maybe the week after, and that's typically where we're seeing the peak number of properties sitting on the market, right? Of course, things are coming on the market and going off the market, coming on the market, coming out, going off the market. But number of active properties, active listings, 450 was about where we ended last year, or the peak of last year. We're at 417 right now, so just under the peak of where we were last year. We'll jump into the land title stats. For May, there were 135 transactions, and the average residential price of that was $1,243,000, with an average price per square foot in May of $799 price per square foot. This is across all of Summit County. Looking at the 5 months as a total, so January through May, the residential price was $1,328,000. and the average residential price per square foot was $787. Single-family homes are down 2%, multifamily up 5%, so that's townhomes, duplexes, condos, and vacant land is down 14%. When we get into change year to date, so just looking at overall market, no surprise, monetary volume is down 36% and transactions are down 13%. Nobody's terribly surprised about that, or at least I hope you're not surprised by that. We were up way more than that on transactions before this, and so coming back down, we're just getting back down to a normal real estate market here. Single family homes average price for single family so far year to date is $2,012,000, and multifamily $947,000, and vacant land $572,000. And then land, you can get into it so much more. There's what size land? Half acre, acre, 20 acres. What are we looking at there? But average land $572,500. Most plots around here, half acre to an acre, somewhere in between there. So, and then talking about the foreclosures, right? May of 2023 only had one foreclosure action compared to 12 in May of 2022. Total in May, or through year to date in 2023, There have been 33 foreclosure actions, but wait for it, 28 of those are fractional ownerships, so timeshares and things like that. And only 5 of them have been, your typical fee simple condo, townhome, duplex, single family home. Doesn't always mean that they make it all the way to the end into the auction either. I get a lot of questions about that. Very rarely in our market does that happen. I've seen it happen a couple of times, but very rarely. Most of the time they get sold before they get foreclosed upon. And then this one was interesting. It's a little bit different. Local buyers are usually about 30% of the market. Front range is usually about 40% of the market, and out of town is usually roughly around 30% of the market. Local buyers are at 36% right now, and front range was at 36%, and the out-of-state buyers are down to about 28%. So yeah, that was interesting, a little bit of shift there. We do get some slight shifts month to month, but nothing major there. So I hope you found this informative. If you have any particular questions, obviously there are pockets within our market. I can slice and dice this and really get into it with you. There's pockets on single family homes that are 2 million and above that are spending longer on market. That market is not as aggressive as it was. And then, there's different pockets based on short-term rental regulations, et cetera, et cetera. So, we can slice and dice this, but it's always good to just get that high level. What is the market in general doing? And then if you have, if you want to narrow it down to a certain area, certainly let me know. We're happy to help out and keep you posted on what's going on there. But thanks for tuning in. Check in. Any questions, teamflick@summitliving.com. And we'll see you next week for another episode of Flick Knows.